वो बार बार बोल रहे हैं कि ये भी दिखना चाहिए ना सर, तो इट्स ओके.
All they have to do is put a nobody
It's more of a PR problem of how you should use it.
no, see, problems are there. Let it be.
No, 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 no. No, no. I tell you, there is nothing really wrong with it is just not the way that management is. They use information in bits and pieces. Because they said in 3 months, they offered it to everybody. Who are there? And then there was a news that somebody had already sold the
He brought to when he came to the country, he got 4-5 questions. He was going to retire. Not for all these insults. For there was something. Actually, something leads to the he looked before you. There was a place there, right? It's not wrong. How is it not? What's your so your parents are in the same home. No, I didn't Moses is not actually. Yesterday, Moses is 83. I'll tell you why I know that. Because somebody went to Thomas and one fellow is called Ravla Valley. It's not fair. We call him right. That happened Moses way. He doesn't know anything. Oh, then they have to
Subramaniam, Srinivasi, Venkatramani. These things, you throw a stone in the north in the boat, all the CFOs, if you were lucky, then both of the same are
see, first of all, South Indians
they never had.
In case you have any problems.
No, not your. Fill your thing, what are you waiting for?
They are just cleaning the screen and then setting it right.
Small thing.
They're taking,
Hello guys.
setting up the stage.
Please settle down fast because if we are late, then your lunch timing will be reduced. So please
Can't
settle
hear
down
you.
fast. Guys, please settle fast. If we are late, then your lunch time will be reduced. So we shall start soon, if by your permission. So, CR, please make sure that everyone is in and no one leaves now. So we shall start with our first panel discussion now, which is on the theme resilient capital, risk management in a volatile and interconnected world. This theme emphasizes the growing need for stability and adaptability in an era marked by global uncertainty. It highlights how businesses must rethink financial strategies to withstand disruptions while sustaining growth. Through this discussion, we explore how organizations can strengthen their capital frameworks, balance risks and opportunities, while also remaining agile amid constant change. In this session, we will delve into the evolving nature of risk and the strategic approaches that define resilience in today's interconnected world. With this, it is my pleasure to introduce the panelists for this discussion. First is Mr. Manas Ranjan Mohanty. Mr. Manas is an additional director at the Center for Advanced Financial Research, CAFRAL, bringing over 3 decades of distinguished experience as a career central banker with RBI. He has served as the MD of BRB NMPL and as Chief General Manager of the Department of Currency Management, in addition to holding leadership roles in HR, banking supervision, financial inclusion, and training. He has served on the boards of SPMCIL, BNMIMPL, and several NBFCs, and also played a key role in establishing global first learning and research centers for the currency ecosystem. Deeply committed to social development, he leads initiatives supporting education for underprivileged children through Ek Asha Trust. I would now like to request Mr. Manas on stage and invite the Cultural Secretary Lakshmi Gayatri to facilitate with the bouquet of flowers. Next, we have Mr. Sunil Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam is the founder and CEO of Sense and Simplicity and a financial services veteran with 40 years of experience across public sector institutions, global banks, and asset management. He retired as the MD of Sundaram Mutual Fund in 2024 after leading its AUM from 2,256 crore rupees to an astounding 80,791 crore rupees at a 20.9% CGR. Under his leadership, the organization received multiple national recognition for brand, digital excellence, and marketing. He has served on SEBI's Mutual Fund Advisory Board and continues to advise financial institutions and academic bodies alongside championing financial literacy through its educational initiatives. I would now like to request Mr. Sunil on stage and invite the JC Muskan to facilitate with the bouquet of flowers. Next is Mr. Govind Jain. Mr. Jain is a seasoned finance leader with over 3 decades of experience in banking, financial reporting, and risk management. As the former CFO of IndusInd Bank, he led enterprise-wide financial strategy, regulatory compliance, investor communication, and major reporting transformations. His leadership roles at Kotak Mahindra Bank and ICICI Bank included driving IFRS adoption, Basel III reporting, SOX implementation, US GAAP filings, and capital raising initiatives. A rank-holding chartered accountant and CPA, he is known for strengthening governance frameworks and building resilient financial systems. I would now like to request Mr. Govind on stage and Junior Coordinator Khushi to facilitate with the bouquet of flowers. Next we have is Mr. Deepak Kumar Lalla. Mr. Lalla has held the role as MD and CEO of SBI Securities Limited. With over 40 years of distinction, 16,000 professionals and delivering a threefold increase in revenue and profitability at SBI over a 3-year period from 2022 to 2025. At SBI, he managed operations across 1,300 plus branches with a business portfolio exceeding 1 trillion rupees and driving digital transformation initiatives and also leading the bank's wealth management business. His areas of expertise span business operations, digital banking, credit and wealth management, and retail broking as well. I would now like to request Mr. Deepak on stage and also invite the junior coordinator Simran to facilitate with the bouquet of flowers. Last but not the least, Mr. Sridhar Kalyan Sundaram. Mr. Kalyan Sundaram is an expert with over 45 years of professional experience in enterprise risk and organizational resilience with professional credentials including MBA, CAIIB, CISA and CRISP. He has served as an independent director at Dhanlaxmi Bank and is the founder of Suraj Risk and Resilience Management Consultants. As a professor of practice, he teaches management, finance, strategy, and system security and is also a recognized trainer for various global certifications. I now would like to request Mr. Sridhar on stage and invite the Business Secretary, Jay Desai, to facilitate with the bouquet of flowers. I would now like to invite our moderator, Sridhar sir, to lead the discussion. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you. The energetic good afternoon is always a good start. And welcome to this program. I'm delighted to be here in this lovely occasion of your Vriddhi 7.70, along with such an eminent panel of fellow panelists. So, to keep up with the topic assigned to this panel, while we live in a world where today shocks, shocking events are no longer rare events. If you looked at the Great Depression of 1930, then the next cyclical issue that happened was sometimes 60, 70 years later. There were small blips all along, but the large dip. But today, the large dips are the blips, right? So we live in a period where shocks are no longer rare events. They are recurring features of both economic and industrial reality. So from sudden rate swings, even recently we are speculating on what the Fed is going to do with the rate cuts, liquidity crunches. We all saw what happened to even some very large names in the 2008 crisis, to supply chain fractures too, which, if not directly, contributes heavily to liquidity squeezes. And each of these new shocks are today probably emerging even before we are able to deal with, cope up with, or even sort of manage the earlier one. So, what is the big question in front of us? Can the capital structures endure, adapt, or recover from such shocks? Can the financial systems, more, if you want to take a larger picture, organizations, because after all the financial structures will have no relevance if organizations are not active participants in them. Can they just absorb this volatility, but actually leverage disruptions? Can you make this threat into an opportunity, or a springboard for resilience, if you want to add a good question there? So let's look at two recent examples that happened. Though you are all students, much younger, but I'm sure you were impacted by that even in the earlier stage, like the COVID disruption. We all know what happened to the global situation in the COVID disruption. The stock markets crashed. If you want to bring it down to the financial market perspective. But it just did not stay crashed. It recovered quickly. It recovered quickly that even by 2020 or 2021, after the 2018, global impact, it was not anymore localized to any one particular geographical region. So if you look at the global impact, the recovery was gradual but very, very real. So we didn't just stay down globally, particularly in the financial services, right? That is one example. And if you look at supply chain as an example, particularly if you look at the semiconductor related issues that came up, initially everybody took it to be a geopolitical sort of a standoff. It is not. A real supply chain related issue on the chip related development activities that had to happen. Massive challenges, massive outages, production schedules went haywire. And yet, what actually rolled out eventually was industries restructured themselves, realigned their supply chains, renegotiated their requirements, their production schedules to bring out an amount or an element of resilience. So it is not as if these shocks are only one side of the story. That's a bad side of the story. But in every bad side of the story, there is always, a different side which we normally tend to overlook or at least not focus on. So what happened? These two examples, at least to me, are glaring or quite illustrative examples of what we can call a resilient capital. Because after all, capital and capital employed are the two important ratios we look at. Even the previous session, we found a young gentleman talking to you about investments and opportunities. Where do you invest? You invest in profitable ventures. So how are they profitable? Because their capital deployment, their capital engagement is more efficient than those who are not. So therefore, the resilience of capital, if you look at capital as an input, capital is an economic input, was far greater even during glaring crises like both the COVID disruption and then the supply chain disruption, primarily driven by the semiconductor sort of an, event. So when you look at these recovery or resilience as an example, it not only says that we can endure a shock, right, but also adapt to that situation and recover. So not everything is lost. Yes, there is a challenge. Suddenly the track is not as smooth as we thought it would, but still it is good enough for us to run. People have run that course, right? So therefore, if you look at the steps taken, which our eminent panelists have been at the helm of industries, of organizations during those crises, who have actually walked the talk. In fact, they are now talking the walk. That's what they're going to do. They will share with you their insights, right? So which brings us to the theme of today for this panel, resilient capital. How resilient can capital be? And like all resilience requirement, if there is a risk, you have to be resilient. And we also know the